Ever since the Chiefs let go of Tyreek Hill, fans have been waiting to see who would emerge as their next number one receiver. Not that they really need one, they still have Travis Kelce and they do a great job of spreading the ball around in Kansas City. But still, as sports fans, everyone wants to see the new exciting young players. And the Chiefs have taken a few swings at the position over the last 2 years. Last year they added Juju and MVS in free agency, drafted Sky Moore in the second round, and took a chance on Justin Ross as a UDFA. None of them really took over as an alpha receiver, but they were never really expected to either. And looking at how the season went for them, I don't think anyone in KC can really complain. Nevertheless, they kept swinging this offseason, nabbing Rashee Rice in the second round of the draft. He was a polarizing prospect as a somewhat raw product out of SMU, but the potential was easy to see. Plus, there really aren't many better spots to develop as a receiver than with the Chiefs. I mean, you've got a Hall of Fame QB, a Hall of Fame offensive-minded head coach, and an offense that's going to put you in position to succeed without having to shoulder too much early on. Still, a day 2 addition to an already deep receiver room is far from guaranteed to make an impact in year 1. But, I mean, you already clicked on the video, so I think we can go ahead and wrap up the intro. Rice's most impressive trait is his awareness. Even at just 23 years old, Rice is already a really heady receiver. I'd wager that's a big reason the Chiefs drafted him in the first place, given the prevalence of option routes in their offense. I mean, to run a good option route, you gotta be able to quickly diagnose the defense and adapt your route accordingly. You have to be able to read man versus zone, your defender's leverage, and find open holes in the defense. And do it all quickly so the QB can actually get you the ball. Not to mention, if you're playing with Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna have to get used to scramble drills. And once again, Rice excels in that area. He has a sort of instinctual feel for where to go once the play starts to break down. Ultimately, you're just trying to find an open space, but the general rule of thumb is to try and get downfield if you're underneath, and break back to the QB if you're downfield. Rice seems to understand that, and he's able to naturally work his way to open spots without wasting time trying to find them first. That puts him in great position to get the ball on the inevitable plays when Mahomes breaks the pocket. But obviously, awareness isn't just important when the play breaks down, it's also key for executing the design play. Let's take a look at this play for example. The Chiefs are running a levels concept backside with the Jets in what looks like a box call in Saban terminology. Since Rice stays underneath on the short end, Sauce passes him off to Michael Carter, the slot corner. Carter though stays inside to take away Sky Moore on the dig. Rice could keep going inside, but instead he recognizes there's no defender within 5 yards of him and sits down underneath. This gives him plenty of space to run and pick up an extra 6 yards once Mahomes finds him. If he keeps moving on this route, he just ends up working into traffic and making it harder to pick up yards after the catch. It's little things like this that can make a difference over the course of a game, and it goes a long way to put you in the favor of your QB. Receiver awareness isn't just about working between zones though, it applies to route running too. Rice approaches each route with a plan. Take this touchdown from their most recent game as of recording this. Rice is going to motion to the boundary side of the field and run a corner route to the back of the end zone. The Chargers are running what Fangio calls cover 8, so to put it real simply, that side of the field is essentially just running a match cover 2. Rice starts his route attacking Michael Davis's leverage before stemming inside. Once he approaches the top of his break, he gives a strong head fake to sell the inside route. That, combined with the spot route from Noah Gray, is enough to get Derwin to step up. Kenneth Murray doesn't get depth in his drop, and Davis has to account for the arrow from Pacheco out of the backfield, leaving Rice wide open in the back of the end zone. But he's in the backside of the progression and recognizes no defender is near enough to make a play. So instead of continuing to the back pylon, he throttles down in the open space, giving himself enough room to secure the catch once Mahomes finds him. Not to mention absorbing the hit from Davis, turning to protect the ball, and keeping his feet in bounds. He may not always run the snappiest routes, but he always knows how he's going to run them. I touched on his Yak Skills earlier, and that's another impressive trait of his. In fact, he's third in the league in yards after catch per reception, only behind Nico Collins and Debo respectively. Given that he's nearly 6'1" and 204 pounds, it's no wonder DBs have a hard time bringing down Rice, but his relentlessness definitely doesn't make things any easier. As I already kinda touched on earlier, he also has a great feel for where defenders are at, which helps him force bad angles from them after the catch. It feels like at least once a game you'll see him secure a catch and spin away from a defender, or use his insane acceleration to shoot upfield and turn a short grab into a big gain. That kind of natural feel for open space is hard to teach, and once again ties into his great instincts as a receiver. You also see him put that 1-4-9 10-yard split he showed at the combine to use, as he destroys defenders' pursuit angles once he gets the ball. Getting back to his relentlessness as a runner, Rice clearly ain't afraid of contact. He practically invites it. Similar to Debo, he has those sort of running back instincts with the ball in his hands. He shows great vision and isn't afraid to run over smaller defenders. He isn't the same physical specimen as Debo, so he's not quite as effective, but he's definitely no slouch. Rice has already started to emerge as the top target in this offense just 7 weeks into his career. He's second on the team in targets, receptions, and receiving yards, and leads all their wideouts in those metrics. Given the level of comfort he's already shown, plus his developing connection with Mahomes, it's really only a matter of time before he officially takes over as this team's #1 wide receiver. That Mahomes to Rice connection seems to get better and better each week, and you know Andy Reid's going to put them in a position to succeed every Sunday. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I hope you already planted them on your fantasy team, because this Rice is growing fast. Thanks to anyone who stuck around this long. I wanted to get this video up like a week ago, but I had to go out of town, plus some other stuff going on. I'm glad I waited though, because that Chargers game was probably his best game of the year so far, and I got a great rep out of it. But yeah, anyways, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and hey, share the video with some friends. I'm sure some of you know some Chiefs fans who would like the video, or maybe you are a Chiefs fan and you want to talk your shit. You know, flex your team a little bit. As if we don't have enough reasons to envy you guys already. Y'all have heard enough from me though, so again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.